was a bit funny. Right, there we are. Looks like we're live. I'm just going to go and get the chat up, and then we shall get into it.
Okay.
I can hear the cat meowing loads downstairs. She wants a lot of attention today. Right, there we go. There we go. Right, so I don't think we've got anyone in the live chat yet. I'm just going to close this door. She wants a lot of... Oh, there we go. Right. No, we've not got anyone in the live chat yet because it was very, very impromptu. So I don't expect anyone here for a minute or two. But yeah, today I'm talking to Darren, who's a fellow reseller. I've done hangouts with him in the past, and I thought it was about time I did another one. So just if you could give a short introduction, who you are, how long you've been reselling, what sort of items you like to resell, that sort of stuff, that'd be great, Darren. Also, I've put your channel link down below as well. So if anyone doesn't know, doesn't know your channel, doesn't follow you, they can go down below and check out your channel.
Yeah, sure thing. Well, I'm Darren, Smart Reselling. I've been reselling for about 3 years or so now. You kind of lose track after a while in the mountains of tap that's around. But yeah, I'm basically a generalist, so I buy and sell absolutely everything which you can kind of see around me.
Yeah.
Everything. Figures, video games, clothing, electronics, you name it. That's pretty much it, really. I have a channel, obviously, that Ads has just mentioned. So
I was admiring your like army jacket there behind you. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, yeah. It's a Royal Air Force jacket. Really, really nice. I've just been pictures of it. So
does it have those that sizing on where it's like 3 numbers?
Yeah, it's like 172 or something strange.
Yeah.
So
because I've been dealing with a lot of military clothing I've just had, and I was quite baffled by the sizing. You know, it's completely different, really, but it's quite easy to grasp once you sort of do a bit of research into it. But yeah, it's quite cool, the military clothing, actually. I quite like selling that.
You got some yourself recently, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I got 2 boxes from the auction house for 18 quid plus commission. Or is it? Yeah, £18 plus commission. And that, you know, do you remember? Did you see the whole video?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that, like that body fragmentation armor thing?
Yeah.
You know, that like really heavy fit green one. It was sort of like a waistcoat almost. I got £19 plus 6 quid postage for that. So virtually I've covered my costs there. Obviously a little bit out with fees and postage, but I virtually covered my costs there. So that was pretty cool. And just that one.
Price for
that? David's in there. I'll just shout out a few names in the chat. Oh, you're in the chat, Darren.
I am indeed.
Andy Robinson, Fake Rachel, David McGregor, Linda, Carol. Got quite a lot of regulars in there. Southwest Sellers, hi there, Gary. We've got Doing It Yourself Lifestyle, Nigel Spence. Nice. So, hi, guys. So, yeah, today I'll get on with the topic is talking about keeping consistency with sales. And I thought this is a great topic for the time of year we're in. You know, June, July, August can be quite slow months. Even May can be quite slow. So I thought it would be really good to get some feedback off Darren and off myself about trying to keep that consistency and how hard is it to keep and what are you doing to try to keep it? Are you moving into other items? Are you branching off into different niches, things like that? Are you trying new sourcing methods like going to auctions or sniping off eBay or whatever's going to be new to you? And I just thought it was a really interesting topic to sort of have on the channel. So yeah, I don't know where to start really with it. Let's start with actually how have you found the summer so far, Darren? That's probably a good question to ask, and then we can get into it from there.
Well, like you said, I mean, it can be a very hit and miss few months. It all depends on what kind of items, I guess, you're stocking at the moment. For me, Lego has just been carrying on selling like it's Christmas. It just seems to be flying out the door still. But other kind of items have been a bit slower. There's a lot more watches on my items around this time where they kind of hold still there for when they do want to buy. But the actual sales, they've been quite low, to be honest. I've been kind of making 1 or 2 really good sales, and then the rest have been really, I like low bread and butter stuff just to kind of keep me ticking along. But I find to try and get through this kind of awkward time, just keep listing. And if you've got unlisted stuff, just get it on there, because it's not going to sell if it's sitting in a cupboard somewhere. And if you are out of stock, if everything's listed, just go source some more. It can be quite, I guess, people are quite fearful of doing that. If you think, well, I don't want to buy more stock, I don't want to put more money into stock that's not selling. But at the same time, the more chance I will sell, and just keep you ticking along. So that would be my advice: is just make sure you just keep listing, and just forget the low sales days. Just work it out over a course of the month. You're going to get a few low, but then you'll get another few that are really high. So it has a way of working itself out still anyway.
This year for me has been a totally different playing field to last year. Like last year, I could see my business was really still growing, and it is now. But I feel like now it's sort of, it's weird. I used to think of my business as my baby. Now it's kind of like my toddler. It's quite odd how I think of that in that sense. But this year has been fairly consistent, and I've been able to keep that consistency fairly well. You were just saying there that you've had, the odd bigger ticket sale, but mainly bread and butter over the summer. That's kind of how it is for me. I've done a lot of volume of bread and butter. When I say bread and butter, I mean really anywhere from a £5 to £20. Even sometimes I include sort of £25 sales in the bread and butter range, but certainly that's sort of £5 to £20. I've had a lot of bread and butter sales on Amazon, but also mixed in, I've had a few higher value items. But I suppose if you're doing a good volume of the bread and butter stuff, it doesn't matter too much that you've not had many of the higher ticket items, because you've done such a decent volume of the lower value. But yeah, I mean, let's move on to say diversification. So how you can keep sales consistency by diversifying. This is something I did back in January. But first off, before I go ahead with my little story, I will let Darren tell you about his diversification and what he's doing. So yeah, just give us a little bit of info about that, mate.
Yeah, I mean, well, like you said, if you're finding that you've got a bunch of stock around you and it's not selling, the best thing to do, what I found, was go on eBay and see what is selling and try and pick up some of that. Because even though these last sort of 2 or 3 months are going to be quite slow, at the same time, things are still selling really well on eBay in other niches and other categories. So if you can pick up some of that kind of stuff, it will help the slower sales until you can get back to normal with your regular stuff. Like, Lego is something that I have said in the past I hate, but when I sell it, I absolutely love it. So that's why I've been picking up more and more of that, and I think that's where diversifying your kind of niche can really help, as in these next few months, really.
Yeah, you probably remember a lot of my videos last year, I believe, I think early last year, maybe Feb to May, something like that. I got loads of Lego job lots every week. I was getting 5 kilogram ones, I was getting 10 kilogram ones. Every week I'd get another job lot and I'd be sorting through them. And I diversified into it quite heavily. And I got to that point in about May or June when I was doing it so much, and I just didn't think I could cope with it. Breaking down the big kilogram tubs and stuff. It was getting, I don't know, it was really putting a strain on me. But yeah, certainly Lego is a great one. I mean, I think that, it's still selling and it's still getting decent prices, but I just feel like for something in my mind is just telling me the demand is just sort of slightly plateauing off a little bit. I don't know whether that's going to continue or whether it's going to, start to go up again and grow. But I mean, obviously you've got like your A-fold. If you don't know what an A-fold is, it's an adult fan of Lego. And you've got your serious collectors and stuff like that who are always going to be there purchasing stuff for their mocks and their Lego cities and stuff like that. But I just don't know. Also on Amazon, I think I've talked to you about this before as well. On Amazon, I feel like it's harder to find out like Lego RA and source RA for Amazon. You know, source some of the Lego sets for Amazon and sell them on there in new condition. I do feel like that's harder, but certainly it's a big market and it can be very profitable. In terms of what I did this year was in January, which is probably a little bit late actually, but in January, I said to myself, I'm going to diversify and I'm going to go into clothing. And that actually worked. Funnily enough, it worked really well in January, but actually I wanted it to work really well now, and I'm not really seeing it work that well now. For example, in January, I was picking up a lot of men's coats and things like that. Also, I was picking up shirts and stuff like that, but heavily I was looking at like men's coats, and they were selling great in January, and I expected that obviously they're going to go for a little bit of a downturn in summer, which they have. But also what I was doing was buying these, you know, short sleeve shirts, long sleeve shirts, things like that, lightweight, nice ones. And I was expecting a lot of them to easy fly out in summer. And I've changed photos, I've changed pricing, I've changed my titling and stuff like that. And yes, I'm picking up a sale here or there. Maybe I get four a month, maybe one sale of a shirt a week. And considering I've maybe only got 30 to 40 shirts listed, maybe that's not so bad. But I just maybe expected a little bit more to sell. But certainly that diversification has helped me anyway, right at the beginning in January when I was making fantastic money with the coats. And I've still made money with the shirts as well, but just not as much as I would have hoped, or not selling as much as I would have hoped. So that, for me, diversification is key. And it depends what you're diversifying into. And I think you'll agree with me here that, like, you know, certain niches are going to be slower selling. So if you diversify into a certain niche, you've got to be wary that, is it a faster selling product, or is it a slower selling product? And if you're thinking that this niche is going to be really good and it's going to be faster selling and really, you know, really profitable, when it actually isn't, then that's when you might get, you know, really quite down about things, and that might send you in a bit of a downward spiral, and you might start to load the items you're selling, really, because you think they're meant to be selling, but actually it is just a slower selling niche. Right then.
I was just going to say, yeah, I fully agree with that. It's, I mean, it's what you were saying about the niches. I mean, there's a lot of us obviously do FBA, and it's kind of the same deal with that, where in January and February, we're picking up items that we know we're going to be storing until Q4. So it's the same kind of effect with some clothing, and clothing, especially as you mentioned, there are items that you can pick up that you know you're not going to sell for probably 6 months.
Yeah.
Changes, but when the weather changes, you're going to make good money on that. So if you can afford the storage space, wherever you may store it, to keep these items, it's certainly worth it. But keep in mind that a lot of items are seasonal. For example, like I've got a bunch of action figures in at the moment, because around the Comic-Con and Dragon Con and the London Movie and Comic Convention times, a lot of action figures, a lot of superhero t-shirts sell, things like that. So I kind of keep it for that period. I'm going to the London Movie and Comic Con myself next weekend. So I kind of look at what's around there, what's selling there, and I load my eBay store with the same items. And last year they flew, but before the convention started, not a single one sold. Yeah. So it's all that time.
So what's a convention? And is that where people dress up, or is it one where they don't do the cosplay and stuff like that, or what does it entail? Because it's quite interesting for me, because I do like a lot of sci-fi and things like that.
It really is, yeah. But you do see a lot of people dressing up. I do not dress up. You won't see me walking around as Captain Picard.
One second.
You do get a lot of people dressing up, and a lot of superhero costumes, massive, like really elaborate ones. But there's also a lot of like guest stars and stuff there as well, like actors and singers.
To a Comic-Con, a Doctor Who themed one and stuff like that. Although, well, that would be more of a Doctor Who convention rather than an actual Comic-Con. But I'd love to do that. It'd be really cool. Dress up and everything. Really get the details on the costume and everything. That'd be so cool. Yeah. So what was it? What were we on? So yeah, that's what we wanted to talk about. So you say there that, you know, obviously you're stocking these action figures for the Comic-Con. That's keeping consistency of sales in terms of like events in the year. So for example, we've got Easter and we've got Halloween and things like that, bonfire night. So obviously another way you can keep consistency to adhere to those, to maybe that seasonality in a way. And if you can, I mean, I know Nick's done it in past and a lot of other people, no doubt, you know, stocking Halloween items and things like that. And obviously come, if you stock them maybe in September, you know, you list them in September or something like that, then you're going to get that consistency of sales throughout October, no doubt, because it's going to be Halloween at the end of October. So that's one way you can help. Here she is. Here's Electra. You can just about see her. What do you want, little one? No, she's climbing up. Watch out, watch out. Rachel said we need weekly cat vlogs. She loves the camera. She loves getting up there. Right, what have we got in the chat? So, oh, no, don't get on the keyboard.
You mentioned Rachel, actually. I saw a question from Rachel. About
Are you just looking in the chat? I thought you'd gone a bit quiet.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, I was just, I noticed.
It's okay. I thought Electra would press the button on there and it's cut out or something. She better not.
Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good. No, she's just asking how my driving's going. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, for those that don't know, I don't think I made a video about this. I've mentioned it to ads before, but
yeah,
I started driving manual, and I did like 3 or 4 lessons in the manual, and I kind of just couldn't really get to grips.
Right.
And I thought it was because of the learning curve of driving a manual. It turns out that I think I have something called dyspraxia, which affects the hand-to-eye coordination. So I had to switch to automatic driving lessons, which around here has been a nightmare because there's a 6 to 8 week kind of waiting list to get onto an automatic driving around here. So unfortunately, my lessons are only once every 2 weeks, whenever the guy can fit me in, usually. So it's getting there. Automatic has been lovely to drive. I've been absolutely love driving around places like Gallywood and Chelmsford, if you are local. But yeah, so it's going well, but it's going very slowly, unfortunately. I just want to get it done so I can just start doing car boot sales and pickups and all that stuff that everybody else seems to be doing. So
yeah, don't worry about it, because mine, as you know, I have my disability and I had to get a specialist disability instructor. I had to change over from having a manual to an automatic. I had to have a steering wheel ball, and then I had to change over to what's known as the lollipop. And it was a nightmare. It took me over 2 years to pass my test. I didn't like doing the lessons. I have to admit, I'm not a big driver. I mean, I like it. I like the freedom, and I love like doing a little Sunday morning drive. You know, whether it be to the car boot or wherever. I love that. The roads are nice and clear. It's lovely. You can put a little bit of Radio 2 on. Yes, I did say Radio 2. Put a little bit of Radio 2 on. Lovely, nice, relaxing. But it took me so long to pass my test because I just, for some reason, I just couldn't get things right. I couldn't do the driving in the right. For example, you know, when you have to do the maneuvers and things like that, I just couldn't get them right for so long, and it took me so long to perfect them. And I mean, well, I say perfect. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm perfect of them, but you know, it took me so long to actually get them half decent to be able to pass the test. So yeah, don't worry about it. I was 3rd attempt as well, and my driving instructor kept saying it doesn't get embarrassing until you get to double figures. So yeah, it's fine. You know, it doesn't matter how long it takes. Right, who have we got in there? Here we go. David saying, I did automatic driving test, Darren, and found it much easier. Rachel says, I didn't pass till last year. Oh, wow. Right then. How did you make... Oh, just having a chat there. One sec. I'm just going up the chat very quickly. Ads. Do you think a mannequin might help you sell more clothes? You have a mannequin there, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I've got sort of a male and a female torso. So depending on what kind of clothes I sell, I don't sell many female clothing, but on the off chance I do, I've got one of those as well.
Yeah, I was gonna get a female mannequin, but then I kind of stopped doing as many, you know, women's clothes, ladies' clothes. So, and I did jump into that niche, and you know, I probably will. I might pick up a few little bits if I see them and they're really cheap. But I just don't think that niche is particularly for me. So I don't particularly need a female mannequin or anything like that. But a male one, yeah, I could consider getting. You know, I can do fairly quite nice pictures, just flat lay on the floor, or okay pictures at least. The lighting's not so good, but you know, unless I put my two big sort of, oh, what are they called? They're not umbrella lights, but them two big softbox lights, those two big softbox lights, unless I get them downstairs, and it'd just be a bit of a nightmare. So I just do them with the natural light, but they're okay, the pictures. But certainly it is an option. It is an option if I am going to continue doing little bits and bobs of clothing here and there. Right then, let's see if we've got any more questions in the chat. Is there anything you wanted to talk about, Darren, on the subject or even off the subject?
No, I think we've pretty much covered the...
Yeah, I mean, it's not a major subject, is it? I just wanted to sort of touch on it. Right. Oh, here we go. Southwest Soul says, ads, you asked me last week about tea set. Sold a kettle last night for 138 plus postage. Is that where you broke the tea service down and then sold the kettle individually or something? Because that's cool. But yeah, yeah, I did. I put my I put the teacup, the saucer, and then the side plate, the shelly. I put this is the undamaged one. I put those on for 30 quid plus postage on auction, not on buy it now. So I put them on 30 quid plus postage, and I just want to see what happens because I've seen other auctions of them go for about 40 to 50. So I'm hoping that it'll get bid up a little bit and maybe get around that price. To be honest, I looked into, oh God, she's up there again. I looked into selling the shelly and sort of how much I'm going to get back off my 50 quid plus commission, purchase price, and I'm looking to get back about 120, which isn't terrible, but it's not the margin I was looking for. So, you know, for a bit of a fail and a bit of a punt at that time, it's fine, and I'll still make a small amount of profit. But certainly, what it's done. Something I actually wanted to talk about here as well is when I made that split decision to go for it, it's opened me up now, and it's eradicated that fear. And now I know. Now next time when I go to the auctions, I don't have any fear in looking at all those pottery lots nicely all over to make sure there's no chips and cracks, and then just bid on them like hell. So yeah, I mean, what that little instinct purchase has done, yes, it's not made me much profit, but it's opened this whole other niche up to me now that I'm now not afraid of. So it's really cool. Right then. Well, anyone got any questions then? We'll open it up to the chat. Anyone got any questions? I'm trying to think on this subject still. Oh, that was something I wanted to talk about. Are you sniping or are you buying for Christmas?
I am. Yeah, I've been sniping sort of quite regularly recently. Once again, I do a lot of things like action figures and stuff. I snipe statues and that I find usually are quite undervalued on eBay, certainly on auction. Yeah. I do quite well with those. I've been obviously sniping board games and stuff, sealed board games, sealed media. There's so much sealed media. You could create a business just sniping sealed media. Yeah, it made me smile a bit, man, because I thought, oh, I know who my competition is now on that lot. No, but I've recently, the reason I ask is because I've recently got back into it as well. I've not been doing it for so long. I really haven't. I've not been sniping for months. I've just been doing car boots and auctions. And I was sniping loads. I really was. I used to snipe loads. And I thought it's about time I get back into it. And yeah, I've been heavily looking at the media, you know, the sealed media and stuff like that. And you're exactly right.
And I was sniping yesterday, and I got about 2 or 3 items just yesterday for about 20 quid that I'm hoping to get at Christmas, around 60 to 80 quid. And that's just in one day. You know, it's insane. And that wasn't all of them. That's just like the higher value items. It really is amazing. I mean, I just do buy it now, newly listed. I sometimes do auction, but I like doing the buy it now, newly listed, because then as soon as it pops up, I can just buy it now straight away, and then it gets posted out. But yeah, I have been looking at a few sealed board games, but the media section, there's a lot more on offer than the board games. There are still quite a few on auction and stuff, but in terms of me doing buy it now, newly listed, there's not as many opportunities with sealed board games as there are media. But yeah, I've just been doing that because I realised about a month ago that to get to the figures I want to get to this year, I've got to go all out, and I've got to get as much stuff now and maybe to the run up to Christmas as possible, so that then I can, oh God, she's chewing the wire, so that then I can actually hit my numbers I want to hit. So yeah. Are you going to be sending up quite a lot to Amazon then at Christmas, because you're back into Amazon now, aren't you?
Yeah, it's getting there. I mean, I'll quickly sort of show you the pile there. That I've got.
Whoa, she goes.
Yeah, that's all for FBA at the moment. Got to box it all up and label it and all that good stuff. But yes, that's what I've got for FBA at the moment. But I've got to do a lot more. I've got to source a lot more over the next sort of month or so, and just send, like you said, as much up there as possible.
Yeah.
And just cram it full for Christmas. The stuff that I'm sending up there shouldn't really incur any long-term fees, because I hope it will be gone by December anyway. So anything that is left shouldn't be too much, really. So yeah, but I'm still doing it. So how about you? Are you sending much up for
I've not been sending much up recently. I haven't, and I think the long-term storage fees for a short amount of time did put me off a little bit. Just before I got the email, you know, we all got sent my email about our storage fee. Well, I don't know whether you would have, because you've not sent anything up, actually.
I still got it. Yeah, I still got it.
Oh, you still got the email. Well, yeah, before that email, I was looking into it already, and then chance would have it that a few days later I got the email anyway. And I was looking into long-term storage fees, and I was really evaluating my position, and I was getting maybe a little bit worried about it and stuff. So I didn't send up as much. I focused on reducing stuff and things like that. But now what I've got is, you know, I've got a new plan, and I'm going to attack it in a different way. And I wanted to ask, actually, are you focusing, obviously, with the statement you just made before about, you know, none of them should incur any long-term storage fees. Are you actually focusing on sales rank and really, and looking at sales frequency as well, and making sure the stuff you're sending in is going to be fairly quick sellers at least? Yeah, pretty much everything I send in, I make sure that it sells a good handful a week. Or if it doesn't sell that regularly now, at least go back to last December and see how well it was selling. Obviously, it all depends on what kind of game. Something like Pie Face, you can't go back and say, oh, it sold amazingly last year or the year before, because that, you know, I mean, now this Christmas, it probably wouldn't. So, but certainly more general stuff is going to be fine. You know, you know until Christmas. Well,
it doesn't come back in January, but at least it'll be gone in December. So.
Yeah, and it was like it's weird. You sort of start to get to know and get to learn the platform a little bit, and I kind of know now. You know, when I'm sniping, what things I'm just going to be okay with, and I know like certain sealed board games and things like that. I know it's generally stuff, and I know that it's going to perform better in fourth quarter. And I am looking heavily, like you are, at, you know, sales rank and sales frequency. I generally go off about 8 times a month in like this period now, because I know that if it's a certain item, the sales frequency is going to be quite a bit more than that in fourth quarter. So if it's selling like 8 times a month now, in, you know, one of the slowest months, then I know hopefully that in fourth quarter it will be selling more frequently than that. And not only that, if I do, as you say, go back to last December, last November, and look at the sales frequency, then that also gives me a bit more confidence. Oh, don't hit the escape button. Don't hit the escape button. Thank God. I don't know what the escape button would do, but I don't think it's going to do anything great. Right, I'm really behind on the chat here. 1 second. Oh, I'm not that behind actually. Oh no, I'm not that behind. I'll just see if I can find any questions. Did you see any questions in the chat? What are you doing? Is she on me back? Oh my god. Where is she? She's there. She is one crazy cat. She's on my back right now. Oh god. Alexa. What are you doing? I can't even get up now. Well, I'm going to have to do the show like this. Oh. Uh-oh. Well, this is bad. See, this is what having a cat does. The cat wants to escape, maybe so. Kittens love keyboard. Question: how many listings you guys getting listed a week on average? Well, you can start with this one, Darren.
I try and just list everything I pick up, really. I've got sort of a few auctions that I've won that I'm waiting on next week. That should be another 50 or 60 items coming in via auctions. Then obviously it's whatever I pick up at charity shops and Gumtree. I'm hoping for a Facebook pickup on Wednesday, which could be real good, but unfortunately the person hasn't got back to me yet. So I'm hoping that's still available. That's going to be a real nice pickup. I'll probably make a video on some of those. So yeah, so it's going to be basically everything that I pick up will get listed that same week. So it varies depending on what I get, really.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep focused here. Yeah, look at her. She's like a parrot. In terms of listings a week, it's really, it depends for me. Oh, don't do anything naughty there when your bum's right in my face. Yeah, it really depends for me. Like sometimes I'll send out a big box to Amazon. So obviously, if I'm doing that, then I'm going to be listing a lot more. God, go on, get that tip. There we go. Right, I can concentrate now. So, yeah, if I've got a big box going out to Amazon, then obviously I'm going to be listing a lot more. If I just have an auction, like for example, if I've got an auction haul, I've got a big car boot haul, I'll be more motivated, which is quite odd. But as soon as I get a big haul, I'm very, very motivated and I'll just attack it. And obviously then I might list more in the process because I'm more motivated and I've actually got a lot more stuff. But it really depends on my sourcing. It depends on my motivation. It depends on how much time I actually get. I mean, it sounds odd, but some days I feel as if I literally only have a very set amount of time to list because I'm filled up with answering messages, doing packaging, maybe trying to have a bit of family time, all that sort of stuff. And it feels like I've got this tiny amount of time to list. So, you know, there's so many different factors. But if I had to give a figure on eBay, maybe anywhere from, I know it's a bit of a wide figure, but anywhere from about 50 listings to 100 listings a week. On a really good week, it would be over 100, but yeah, that'd be on a really good week. But 50 to 100, I'd say, is an average. Sometimes it's more to the lower end of that scale. Sometimes it's more to the upper end of that scale. But obviously, I've got Amazon to factor in as well, which is separate. But yeah. So then, we've got 26 people watching. Is there any more questions? It's Southwest Sellers. Don't work with kids or animals. I know. Oh, here we go. It's gonna be, if anyone wants to hire me for eBay listings, I can pump them out maybe 6 per hour. Is that good? I don't know. Well, 6 per hour, I don't know. It depends on what you're listing, I suppose. If it's higher value items, it's not so bad. Right then, is there anything else you want to talk about? I mean, we've been going about 40 minutes, so really we can go a little bit longer, but not too much longer. Oh yeah, how's weekend sales been? That's a good question.
It was quite slow, to be honest. This weekend just gone was quite slow. I did do like a Lego bundle, actually a couple of Lego bundles. But apart from that, that was it, really. It was quite a slow weekend for me. I was hoping to kind of pick up. I think this weekend coming maybe a bit better. Because obviously it's covered in that payday kind of week. But yeah, I was quite surprised that last weekend was a bit on the slow side. How was it for you guys?
It was yeah, it was slow this weekend. I'm okay. I've done my target for the month, so I'm just like, yeah, I did my target for the month on like the 19th, which so I did 3K by the 19th, which just is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So now I'm just like, yeah, I'll list a little bit. I'll do a bit, just have a little bit of a relax, and then I've got an auction. I'll have an auction, and by the end of the month, I've got a car boot this weekend coming up. So, I'll get things done, but I just feel a bit more relaxed because I'm like, right, I've done my target, so I don't need to be like crazy in there. Because for me, it's more about the lifestyle. And if I can do my target and I can do a bit more in like one of the slowest months of the year, I'm happy with that. And then I can work my arse off at Christmas time and get a really, really decent profit there and a nice little bonus there, then I'm happy, So I'm not gonna like work loads this week. I'm gonna have a bit more of a relax because I sort of feel as if I can. And then once we hit June again, or not June, once we hit August or very late July, I'll really start getting into gear again when the sort of the clock resets back to zero and I have to do next month's target. So yeah. One sec. I'm just looking in the chat. I don't think there's any more questions. Oh no, boys. I just got a helper. Would you guys ever take? Oh, that's a good question. I just got a helper. Would you guys ever take someone on to help run business? Yeah, you go for that one first, Darren.
Yeah, if someone wanted to pack all my stuff for me, that would be fantastic because I absolutely hate packing. It's the one part. I love sourcing. Everyone loves the sourcing. Everyone loves the selling. The listing, I'm okay with. I'm good with that. It's the packing. I hate packing. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of people say that they're okay with the packing and it's the listing. But to be honest, I have to say, for me, I love the packing. I do love the packing, but when it's like 5 or 10 items, it's okay. But when you get to that like 15, 20 or more, you're like, oh, you know what? I couldn't really do with this right now. I can do 5, I can do 10, I could probably even do up to 15 fairly okay. But when you're getting higher than that, I'm just like, oh, really? Do I have to? But you just get it done. But yeah, I would employ someone, but I don't think I could ever see me employing someone for eBay. It's more for in the future, like other business ideas that I've got. It would be necessary to employ someone, and you never know, I might employ someone for those ideas. But yeah, with eBay, unless it got to a stage where it was like really demanding that, I don't think I would. But if I was employing someone, it would probably be to do something like the packing or something like that. I mean, they could do the listing for me, but that for me has a lot of challenges. And I know there's a lot of things out there that can help you with these challenges, but like access to your accounts and stuff like that. I know there's like apps out there and stuff that can help you limit access to an eBay account or something like that. But I just don't like giving up that much control. I'm a bit of a control freak with my business, and I don't know. Is that the same for you, Darren? Could you allow someone into your account like that?
Probably not my accounts. No, then again, I don't know. I suppose with what we do on YouTube, we practically say everything we earn and everything we spend.
Yeah.
So not necessarily to the penny, but close enough. So I suppose it wouldn't be that much different.
No, I suppose not.
Mainly just the packing, really. Everything else, I'm fine with. Just the packing.
There you go. She's out the door. Yeah. I mean, for me, and I don't know whether you got this, whether you get this in quarter 4. By the time December's over, you're completely packaged out. Do you get that?
Yeah, I mean, well, I've kind of been well known on my channel for shutting up my store on the 15th of December anyway. So I tend mainly because it kind of coincides with when Hermes kind of up and delivering anyway, and I use Hermes a lot, so it makes sense for me. I then tend to shift purely to FBA, and then Amazon can do all the Christmas packing for me. I'm not going to touch that.
That's the beauty of FBA, really.
Yeah, that is the great thing about FBA.
Yeah, I mean, by the time, because last year I did up to the 21st, I believe, on eBay, and then obviously Amazon separate. I think I did up to the 21st. Don't know whether I put my shop on holiday mode or not. I can't. I think I did. I think I did last year. The year before I didn't, but last year I did. I tried it out, and I don't think it affected things that much. But obviously I had Amazon in the background. It was doing well for me at the time anyway. But no, I shut up shop on eBay about sort of the 20th, 21st. But last year I don't think, I might have been, but I don't think I was doing Hermes. I think I started Hermes a little bit later, unless I might have been doing Hermes, but because I'm doing Hermes this year, I might need to look into that, you know, their last posting dates and stuff. Well, I will do actually. So yeah, I might have to, have to look into that and maybe change the date, my shipping dates and stuff like that accordingly, and like change dispatch times and stuff like that, just to make sure I'm covered really, because you don't want someone saying, oh, I expected this for Christmas and I bought it on X date, and then you've not covered yourself by saying anything. You know, like you've not said that Royal Mail have stated that if you send it after this date or if you purchase it after this date, then it may not get there for Christmas. I always put something, a tagline in the description or somewhere to make sure that I've sort of covered myself a little bit, because otherwise then you're going to get into customer disputes and stuff. He still looking. Oh, who is this? Like, David, would you get? Oh no, that's just for David. I think that's about it for questions in the chat. Could you see any?
Well, there was one from David.
Oh, there. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Seen that now. Do you want to read that one out then?
Sure. Yeah. It says, do you think dating a reseller would help or hinder the business?
David knows this. Wait, actually, I think you put it. Haha, Ad has always wanted a reseller wife. Yeah, you put it. Yeah, I am in love with this idea that I could partner up with, you know, a girl who's always also into reselling, and we could combine forces. Probably not as a partnership business. We'd probably just have two sole traders, but we'd like sort of work very closely together. And basically, she would maybe do other niches that I don't cover. Like, there's a lot of niches I cover, and I'm not afraid to go into different niches, but certain things like ladies' clothing, I want that incorporated into the business, but I don't want to do it. But if I had a girl who wanted to do that, then that's great because it incorporates it into the business. So we're like, between us, we're like super generalists, and it would be just so good if she could take on all the stuff that I didn't like, and I take on all the stuff that I like, and she likes, you know, the stuff that I don't like. And then we'd just be, we'd have every base. I know it's like a pipe dream maybe, because I don't think you could ever have every single base covered, but that would be what I would love, like just have all these different niches covered, and you're selling in all these different niches, and you've got that vast diversification that helps you throughout the entire year to bring you more consistent sales and stuff like that. And just the fun of working with your partner would be amazing as well. So yeah, to answer that question, David, I think it would help your business, but I do think there would be a fair share of tiffs and, you know, angry moments and stuff like that, and arguments. So there is that side of it, really. What about you, Darren?
Well, I think dating a reseller would certainly help your business. Obviously, there are different opinions on how businesses should be run. So you might be doing something one way, and your partner may not see the same way as correct. That's where little tiff can happen sometimes. But no, I would say it certainly helps, especially with just the day-to-day, having someone to talk to about your business who understands it without you even having to explain everything.
Yeah.
If they walk into a room and you're standing there with a dress and a pair of high heels, they won't question it.
Yeah.
So that is a plus side. You know, they don't give you a funny look. It's just, it must be for eBay.
Yeah, straight away. Yeah. No, I think it's going to be, you know, if I were to get a girlfriend or a wife who doesn't even know reselling really, it's going to be such a shock to her world, even if she's not doing it as a job, you know, just putting up with my reselling. It's going to be such a shock, and she's going to. I think it'll be great even if she isn't a reseller, because she'll get to know the business and get to know what I do and stuff like that, and then she'll hopefully get to understand it and accept it. But I think, yeah, it's just if she didn't know reselling even existed or didn't really even know much about it, it would be like a complete shock to her world, really. And I don't know, it might go down well, it might not go down well, but I just hope, fingers crossed, it goes down well. Even if she isn't a reseller, but the ideal is to get someone who's a reseller. Right, let's go down the chat slightly. We'll wrap it up in a minute because we've almost been an hour. Oh, the chat's jumping again. One sec. Oh, God. My chat's going funny. One sec. Right, I'm at the bottom. There we go. Right, question for ads. Let's say you're packing and yeah, I know. Yes, do-it-yourself lifestyle. That is the dream. I'm not gonna relay that on camera, but yes, that is. Can you see that, Darren?
I can, yeah, I can.
Yeah, that is the dream, isn't it? That is the dream.
I would say if she truly loved you, she'd help you pack.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Teamwork gets results, ads. Yeah, it does. Great answers, guys. Cheers, David says. So, ads, you are looking for a Doctor Who science fiction loving reseller. Have you not seen any of YouTube? No, what I'm looking for is an eccentric, sci-fi loving reseller who isn't really afraid of role play and stuff like that, if you get my drift, and is a bit more eccentric and is just into like philosophy and time and stuff like that, because I'm into a lot of stuff I don't talk about on YouTube because it's too weird for YouTube, because I can get quite intense when I mean, a lot of my best friends who I've shown on camera, they know how intense I can get with some of the subjects I talk about. Like, I could go into Doctor Who, like, so deep that people will be like, what, you know? So that's why I try and limit my weirdness on camera. Right then, much happened, just finished shift. Yeah, we're basically done now, Lucy, so we can watch it back in a bit. So yeah, that's everything, isn't it? So any final words, Darren, before we wrap it up? It's been nice to have you on anyway.
Yeah, cheers. It's been nice to be on. I don't do too many hangouts, so it's nice when I get a chance to.
Yeah.
It's good to talk to you. Obviously, I watch many of your hangouts. So everyone in the chat, thanks for watching, and just keep listening, keep selling. Yeah,
I just need to say as well, there should be, I've just got to confirm with them, but there should be a special video on Sunday. It's going to be, hopefully, if we arrange it and it's all fine, it's going to be like a dual haul, I suppose you would call it. So I'm going to come on with a guest, or two guests actually, and we're going to do a sort of double car boot haul. So they're going to show a few of their items, I'm going to show a few of mine, and that should be, fingers crossed, Sunday afternoon. I'm not promising 100%, but we have kind of arranged it now, so it should be okay. And also, I've got to do a sales update because I've not done one in ages, and I just never feel like I get enough time to do one, sit down and do one. But I need to make time, that's the thing. So yeah, I will leave it there, guys. Thank you very much. Don't forget, there is a link down to Darren's channel if you haven't checked him out. Great channel. Yeah, have you done a video? When did you last do a video? It was a while ago, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was a fair while ago. I mean, I know it sounds like an excuse saying I've been too busy, because we've all.
I know.
It's just time, isn't it? It's But I'll be doing some hauls. I'll be doing a sale, and we'll see what else gets thrown up there. So.
No, you know, it's exactly the same for me. Like I always say on here, oh, I've been too busy, or I've not got time for it, and I feel terrible for my viewers. But I'm sure a lot of them, you know, because 99% probably are resellers too, maybe 1% on and just watch for the joy of watching, maybe, I don't know. But I think they understand that, you know, I hope they understand that. And it is the fact that I just I just feel as if I don't have time to do the videos, and going live is so much easier than editing a sales update. So yeah, but I will get one done very soon, I promise. I do want to keep them to, you know, every couple of weeks or every month at the max. So yeah, anyway, I'll leave it there. I won't draw out this ending too much longer. Thank you all for watching, and yeah, see you very soon.